Quiz number 2. Levels of biological organization and plant cell and animal cell. For general instructions, please avoid screenshots in all forms of activity. Watch and understand this video. And for laptop users, you must copy and answer using Google Documents provided by your teacher. And for smartphone users, tablet or iPad, you must copy and answer it in your science notebook, then take pictures and attach it to your Google Classroom. Number 1. Blank provides a fixed environment inside the cell. A. Cellular respiration. B. Cell wall. C. Chlorophyll. And letter D. Plasma membrane. Number 2. In number 2, smooth endoplasmic reticulum, on the other hand, does not contain ribosomes, and it is the one that synthesizes lipids such as blank carbohydrates and steroids. A. Cholesterol and proteins. B. Phospholipids and glycoprotein. Letter C. Carbohydrates and complex sugar. And letter D. Phospholipids and cholesterol. Number 3. Blank is the entire array populations that live in the same location make up A. Lithosphere, B. Biosphere, and letter C. Population, letter D. Community. Number 4. Blank is the part of our planet where all life exists, including all of the environments on Earth that support life. A. Lithosphere, B. Community, C. Ecosystem, and letter D. Biosphere. Number 5. Who was the scientist stated that Omnis cellula e cellula? A. Swan, B. Euclid, C. Hooke, and letter D. Virchow. Number 6. Blank consists of all the living things in a given area together with the non-living things. A. Lithosphere, B. Community, C. Population, and letter D. Biomes. Number 7. Blank is a self-contained group of tissues that performs a specific function in the body. A. Atom, B. Cell, C. Organ system, and letter D. Organ. Number 8. Blank means little organs is used to describe these tiny cellular structures. A. Organ system, B. Organs, C. Organisms, and letter D. Organelle. Number 9. Blank smallest particle of a specific compound that retains the chemical properties of that compound, 2 or more atoms held together by chemical bonds. A. Unicellular, B. Cell, C. Population, and letter D. Molecule. Number 10. Blank is the control center of the cell, also labeled as the brain of the cell. A. Peroxisome. B. Centrioles. C. Cytoplasm. And letter D. Nucleus. 11. Blank is a group of organs that work together as biological system to perform one or more functions. A. Atom. B. Cell. C. Population. And letter D. Organ system. Number 12. Blank provides movement for the cell or objects moving by the cell. A. Endoplasmic reticulum. B. Nucleus. C. Mitochondrion. And letter D. Flagella. Number 13. Blank is the number of organisms of the same species that live in a particular geographic area at the same time with the capability of interbreeding. A. Lithosphere. B. Biosphere. Letter C. Community. And letter D. Population. Number 14. Peroxisomes contains enzymes that oxidize certain molecules normally found in the cell, notably fatty acids and blank. A. Cilia. B. Amyloplast. C. Enzymes. And letter D. Amino acids. Number 15. Blank are used for animal cells to reproduce, and they release long, stiff fibers called microtubules that split the cell apart during cell division. A. Plasma membrane. B. Nuclei. C. Lysosome. And letter D. Centrioles. Number 16. Blank in the chloroplast absorb light energy and convert it into chemical energy and allows plants to carry out the process of photosynthesis. A. Smooth endoplasmic reticulum. B. Nucleolus. C. Mitochondria. And letter D. Chlorophyll. Number 17. Blank stores water and food and also has the task of excretion of waste materials. A. Nuclear envelope. B. Cell wall. C. Lysosome. And letter D. Small vacuoles. Number 18. Blank is the outer lining beside the plasma membrane, and the cell wall adds stability and protections to the plants. A. Golgi body. B. Nucleus. C. Cell membrane. And letter D. Cell wall. Number 19. Blank in plants is larger than in animals, taking up almost all the space in a plant cell. It makes the plant cell rigid. A. Plasma membrane. B. Chloroplast, C. Peroxisomes, and letter D. Large vacuole. Number 20. Blank organisms or individual is the level of biological organization that has existence as a complex, self-reproducing unit. A. Lithosphere, B. Organ, C. Population, and letter D. Organisms. Number 21. Blank break down unwanted materials like bacteria and old organelles. A. Nucleus, B. Vacuole, C. Cytoplasm, and letter D. Lysosome. Number 22. Blank known as the basic unit of life. A. Atom, B. Tissues, C. Population, and letter D. Cell. 23. Blank is a cell organelle that helps process and package proteins and lipid molecules, especially proteins destined to be exported from the cell. A. Nucleus, B. Vacuole, C. Vesicles, letter D. Golgi body. 24. Blank is the powerhouse of the cell. A. Cellular respiration, B. Photosynthesis, C. Chlorophyll, letter D. Mitochondrion. 25. Blank are found on plant cells that stores starch. A. Golgi body, B. Nucleolus, C. Cytoplasm, and letter D. Amyloplast. 26. Blank synthesizes proteins. A. Lysosome, B. Cytoplasm, C. Golgi body, and letter D. Ribosomes. 27. Blank serves as synthesizer, sorter, and transport of materials such as protein and lipids. A. Nucleus, B. Vacuole, C. Cytoplasm, and letter D. Endoplasmic reticulum. 28. Blank is where the subunits of ribosomes are produced. A. Genes, B. Chromatin, C. DNA, and letter D. Nucleolus. 29. Blank is a jelly-like substance that surrounds the organelles of the cell. A. Mitochondria, B. Peroxisomes, C. Nucleus, and letters D. Cytoplasm. Number 30, blanc comes from a form of an Old French verb meaning to web. A. Atom. B. Cell. C. Organ. And letter D. Tissues. Okay, for part 2, essay, 5 points each. Okay, number 1, explain briefly the concept of cell theory. Explain briefly the concept of cell theory. Number 2, make a Venn diagram and then compare and contrast the plant cell and animal cell. 5 points each ang essay. And then, number 3, you need to explain, class, in your own idea or ideas, the concept of levels of biological organization. Okay, all I want to see in your answer in this particular number is your own explanation about the concept of levels of biological organization. I think that's the end of our quiz. Perfect score is 45. God bless and thank you.